Alright folks, great to be back with you again for another video forecast update. This one being recorded as of around 2 in the afternoon on Sunday, March 6th. And bottom line guys, we're just going to be looking at a above normal spring flooding threat as we go over the next couple weeks, and likely at least through mid-March. We're going to be talking about a very active weather pattern which is going to yield a number of rainstorms, and they're all going to add up to cause a significant impact. Now the first of the series is now moving through the East Coast. We've got heavy rain spreading back up all the way inland and now spreading back through the Boston metropolitan area. I actually live in the Boston metro area. Looking out the window right now, we're getting our first few showers, and that's the case across a lot of spots, and I'm going to get to rainfall accumulations in just a bit. Also on the backside, we're seeing some snow. I want to take you over to the satellite imagery, and this is the infrared enhanced image here. Okay, and this is what we're talking about with a storm that works this way. If you look at it, there are two areas of the deepest convection. One of them has essentially been wiped off the map. Now, number one is now moving off Delmarva, central southern Jersey. You see a burst of darker blues. That's where the colder cloud tops are. And then you make your way out towards... I just gotta kind of zoom around here. There we go. And then you make your way out towards western Pennsylvania, back through West Virginia. You notice we had a good burst of cold cloud tops and intense precipitation that was actually falling as snow, but that's actually, at this point, been killed by the Appalachians. And then just to the southwest of the one off Delmarva, and just to the southeast of the non-existent one in central Pennsylvania, we have an area of more steady precipitation forming, and that's what's going to move through the East Coast as we go over the next 12 to 18 hours or so, and should clear out entirely by about midday Monday. And this is what I think we're going to be talking about in terms of precipitation of whatever type we do end up seeing. Whoa, I lost my map stance here. Give me 5 or 10 seconds to fix things, which apparently I can't do. That's alright. What I think we're going to be dealing with is around an inch of rain for most of the big cities, with less further east. Okay. And some spots could get a little bit more, up to 2 inches. And someone's probably going to get about 2.5 inches of rain in around central New England. And then you make your way back towards western Pennsylvania, through Ohio. We're definitely going to be seeing several inches of snow north and west of Albany, back through northern New England, but nothing major in terms of snowfall accumulation, and pretty much nothing along the big cities other than a couple wraparound snow showers Monday. And that's essentially what we're dealing with for this storm. So, now that that's covered, let's just take a look at what's happening with our second threat. Here we are by about midday on Monday. The storm is out of here. We're done dealing with it pretty much. And at this point, we've returned for a bit of a cooler day on Monday compared to today, where we had the southerly wind streaming up for the northeast. And it's the same on Tuesday, a rather cool day across the northeast. But Tuesday, we're going to have a storm forming out in the western portion of the United States. The plains are going to be dealing with some pretty heavy precipitation, starting as rain, but then as the storm intensifies, it's going to be wrapping in cooler air on the northwest flank, and snow is going to develop through the day on Tuesday through the central plains. And as we go through Tuesday night, the storm's really going to intensify and start tapping the Gulf of Mexico for moisture, and at that point, that's when we see the snow really pick up in intensity. So by Wednesday morning, it's snowing from Milwaukee to Minneapolis, and as we go through the day on Wednesday, the storm, you can just follow those isobars that are coming into Ohio straight all the way down out of the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic, which is just indicative that the storm is picking up a lot of moisture, and that's the case here. So this is just a big moisture producer. As we skip out through time here on the GFS, you can see all the heavy rain that pushes up through the East Coast through the day on Thursday. And then on Friday, it looks like we're going to see the southern part of the energy go south. The northern part's going to either stick around or go north. The GFS wants to kind of cut it off from the jet stream and stick it around, and then kind of take it back south with a new redevelopment center, and then a bit of a Neuralon trough that sets up back through here, and kind of a complicated situation in my opinion. I don't know if you agree. And then we look towards the European, and we're talking about a different solution where the storm comes through, and then it's also a very heavy burst of rain, and it doesn't really divide. It just, and all the moisture gets put onto the northern part, and it's more progressive than the GFS and just pushes out through. And once you get west of the big cities, that's where most of the heavy rain ends up falling. And so how do these two models basically add up in terms of accumulated precipitation? I'll show you the GFS, and here you see this is 12Z Tuesday when the storm hasn't even come yet, and what we're looking at is about an inch to 3 inches of rain, or my maps accumulations across the northeast, and this is just preliminary rain that's fallen from the first storm. And this is one of my concerns, is that we get it back from the first storm, and then the second storm really reinforces things. So this is what we're talking about on the GFS right now. And anywhere in those dark reds, we're looking at least 3 to 6 inches of rain. Even those anywhere in the reds, basically 3 to 6 inches of rain. There's a little purple jackpot in northwest Connecticut and western Mass. That's probably where we're going to be talking about up to 6 or 7 inches based on the GFS, which is just an absolutely prolific amount of rain for one storm. But this is going to be 2 storms, and there's going to be a day or two where in between the storms. And the reason that this won't be absolutely prolific is that there's rivers are going to have a day or between, I'd say, 24 and 36 hours to drain a little bit out before the next storm comes. But there's still going to be significant flooding in western areas of New England. Okay, so that's the GFS. Here's the Euro. Again, guys, it doesn't really bring much east of the big cities, okay, other than Boston. Alright, Boston, we see that setting up. And, you know, Euro's about 36 inches of rain as well. Sorry, I keep messing around with these maps, but yeah, reds are 3 to 6 inches of rain. Okay, so the Euro's pretty much in line with our thinking at this point. Euro is a little bit more progressive, but also a little bit more intense. So Euro would kind of be a flash flooding situation. So although the GFS prints out more precipitation, I'd be more worried about the Euro solution for this area, because we'd be talking about flash flooding. And the worst case is that if this area shifts east, how bad would it be if it were to set up over in here, where there are actually people? I'm not saying that there aren't people in here, I'm just saying that if it were to set up in here, more would be affected, and there'd be an urban threat, urban flooding. And urban flooding with up to 3 to 4 inches of rain is not a fun experience. It takes one thunderstorm to flood parts of New York City. If it takes one massive rain, we're going to have major problems, and that's the concern. So you're just going to have to stay tuned, because we're going to have to pinpoint where this heavy area of rain sets up. So stay tuned to Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. Have a great day, folks. Signing off for now, Nick Sayer.